All right, bonjour, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give you guys a bit of a late night, early morning, mid afternoon, early in the night TA update on what's going on with Hex, the most famous, least controversial cryptocurrency in all of crypto land. So, folks, look, we've had a very decent relief rally since Peter McCorneck popped his head out and decided to tweet FUD about Hex here at the bottom. Once I saw that, I told myself I was waiting for a 10-cent Hex, but it was just too perfect an opportunity to pass up. I bought the dip. I staked the dip 5 days, Cuatro Cincos, and I'm very happy with that now because Hex is up well over 100% since my buy at roughly 13.5 cents. I'm not going to claim to have caught the exact bottom. I bought it around 13.5 cents. But point is, folks, what's important now is the goddamn downtrend over? Are we out of the clear? Well, folks, look, I want to give a little bit of an unbiased, nuanced view based off TA that I hope at least some of y'all will appreciate. What I can say is, folks, look, if we take off the log chart here, looking at a log chart can be helpful for some reasons and unhelpful for a lot of other reasons. I know Richard Hart has a fetish for log charts, and for good reason. They can be very helpful. It can give you some more detail that you kind of miss out when you're not looking at a log chart. But just how a log chart can be helpful for certain things, it can also be unhelpful for other things. All right, and so if we want to perhaps just consider the bearish scenario for a moment here, looking at a non-log chart, this kind of does look like a parabolic cycle blow off top, folks. All right, it's simply what it looks like, or at least a case could be made. So one would want to be wary of potentially getting caught in a bull trap. Now, of course, if you understand the fundamentals of Hex, you may say, hey, this is not a regular chart, and that's all well and good, folks, here. But let's look at both sides of the scenario here. So we were in this massive downtrend, and we're now finally seeing tangible signs of that downtrend being reversed. Because what do you have in a downtrend? You have macro lower lows and lower highs. So what do you need for an uptrend? You need higher highs and higher lows. And we just got our first macro higher high here, which is a good sign. It's the first real tangible step towards reversing the downtrend. Over here, we were seeing signs of bullish divergence. We were seeing signs of us bottoming out. But now that we have a higher high, this is something very tangible towards potentially reversing the downtrend. So while this is extremely productive towards reversing the downtrend, I would be wary that we are right up against some critical resistance areas. It's a bit of a range here, but ultimately, I would say, folks, just to really make it simple, until Hex can start to get daily candles closing above 33 cents, 36 cents, then we are not out of the clear yet. The way I like to think about resistance levels when talking to my non-TA friends is, you got to think of resistance as like different boss levels when you're playing a video game, right? And the more the more bosses you beat, the more you have a better chance of going on. Maybe the analogy isn't perfect, but bottom line is this 33 to 36 cent zone is the final boss battle for Hex. So if Hex can get dailies, weeklies, 3 days closing above 36 cents, then in that case, based off technical analysis and not any kind of fundamental analysis, I would say that Hex is no longer short-term bearish, and we, in that case, based off TA, have the likelihood of continuing to make higher highs and testing all-time highs and even entering price discovery once again. So, folks, this is the final boss, the final major resistance level I'm looking out for. And if we take a look here at our indicators, folks, there is some reason to be concerned about the short term. Look at the short term here. We can see that we have a higher high in price action paired with a lower high in RSI. This is bearish divergence, folks. It's telling us that the uptrend is running out of momentum. But, folks, again, we're just seeing signs. We don't have confirmation of a bearish trend reversal yet. So, ultimately, what we need to look out for, folks, to understand whether or not Hex is no longer short-term bearish, is, I think, whether or not we maintain 27 cents here. As long as Hex can hold on to 27 cents, this previous high here, our clear base of consolidation at these regions, then the bulls can hang on to the short term. But let's say we start to get 4 hours, 12 hours, start to close, open and close below 27 cents. Well, then in that case, folks, I think a retest of 21 cents, 21.5 cents becomes very reasonable in that scenario. So those are the major levels I'm looking out for. We're starting to see a little bit of bearish divergence, a little bit of signs that maybe the momentum is running out in the short term. But those are just signs. We don't have confirmation of a bearish trend reversal. So really what we want to look out for is Hex maintaining 27 cents. As long as we maintain 27 cents, then the bulls have a very good chance of hanging on to the short term. And we may very well go on to continue to test these upper resistance levels. Of course, you know, an analysis video would not be complete if you didn't mention significant off-chart factors, which is Hex has currently been going through its largest period of unstakes, and I wish I had that chart pulled up here. Actually, give me a second, I'll pull it up. And here we go. We are looking at Hex.Vision, where we have a chart of future unstakes and future market supply. So looking at the next 3 months here, currently at this little bar here, that is December the 22nd, that is the day of recording. And as we can see, we have quite a large cluster of unstakes in the near future, kind of next month or so here. So we do have the potential of you know, long-term hodlers you know, dumping some of those unstakes on the market. Although we've been going through a massive cluster of unstakes the last 2 months, and you know we have been in a downtrend, but we have been experiencing short-term reversals. So who really knows how much an effect this will have in the market, folks? A lot of these unstakes just keep unstaking, just keep staking out a month to 3 months in advance, and maybe just sell off the interest and keep the principal. We don't really know how these people are likely to behave, but this is just one factor to be aware of. Another factor to be aware of is the fact that we have the Pulse X sacrifice phase, which is the pancake swap fork on Pulse chain. Richard, I said it's going to the Pulse X sacrifice phase will begin before the end of the year, so people will be able to sacrifice ERC20s. That means your Ethereum, your Chainlink, your Hex, in order to get sacrifice points, which is very likely to get you Pulse X coins. So there's likely to be a bunch of circulating supply of Hex, presumably forever removed from circulating supply, which is a bullish catalyst. Whenever you remove supply, that is typically has a bullish effect on price action as well. We have the launch of Pulse Chain sometime in Q1 2021, where you will be able to buy, sell, and stake your Hex for pennies instead of sometimes the hundreds of dollars it costs on Ethereum. So we do have two major bullish catalysts, one hopefully before the end of the year, and the other one with Pulse Chain very likely within the first quarter of 2021. So those are something kind of off-chart factors that you guys need to be aware of. Regardless of the short term, folks, I'm a big long-term fan of Hex. You know, it's highly uncontroversial, and there's definitely nothing cringy about the community for sure. So I'm honestly So look, folks, I hope you guys appreciate my analysis. Make sure, for the love of God, you like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified when new uploads. Go follow our Twitter. Go become a VIP Desk member if you feel like, if you want to support us. You know, I was talking about on our Twitter and in our VIP Desk group, buying and opening my longest and biggest, my biggest 15-year long stakes at these regions over here. So there's a link to join everything down in the description below. And I think I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. Until next time, take care.